Hello and welcome to a game of Dota 2. You're watching StarLadder Star Series Day 20, Game 2 of 2. We're gonna see the Retry versus QPAD Red Pandas, and once again I'm joined by two gentlemen. We have Nahaz, our statsman, inside this game, who will provide you with all the outstanding stats that he can think of. And of course I have a co-caster with me as well. Mod, welcome back.
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm back here for game number 2 of the evening, and so far the Retry with the Huskar ban, we've seen that before. I'm not really sure a whole lot about it. I guess it's just don't want to play against Huskar. On the other side, QPAD with Bristleback, of course. QPAD having a pretty rough time with StarLadder right now. They've got 3 stand-ins, as we mentioned before, and the Retry, well, they are playing okay. They played pretty well yesterday, and we'll see if they can continue on their sort of winning streak here.
Yeah, they had a rough start. But they have been on a bit of a roll. We've got them played 12 games so far, 6 won, 6 lost. So it's a bit 50-50 right now, and this is their chance to either be, of course, on the upside or on the downside of that 50%. So we'll see how they end up. QPAD, they have played 8 games so far, with the 2 games won only coming from Aspera and 4FC pulling out of the tournament. So the 6 losses are the ones that they actually lost, and they're still looking for their first physical win here in StarLadder. If it's going to be up against a Retry, well, that depends. How are they going to plan to work around this? Hey, look, we still have a Slark in the pool. Nature's Prophet first picker for the Retry. We have actually seen we've seen a lot of different players play this Nature's Prophet for the Retry. We've seen Yoki playing it in the middle lane. And we've also seen it played, of course, on the off lane by PGG. But I'm kind of hoping that we're going to see the... I was going to say the Enigma again, but it looks like we might be seeing something different coming out from the Retry this time.
Yeah, they've sort of innovated. They've picked up a couple different things. You go back to Tuskar pickup, they picked up, in the first couple of weeks, and they did really well with it. But they go for an IO now, which is very interesting because that hero has seen like no play as of recently, but they have this like global strategy now.
Yeah.
And I mentioned Nature's Prophet, Pugna could have been something they wanted to do, but like, it looks like they decided against it because the Outworld Devourer is in the pool, and Outworld Devourer does okay against the Pugna to a certain extent. Obviously, except for the Nether Ward, which is nice. So, with the OD now, QPAD has an okay lineup, and they've got a good shot at taking this game because the Retry are going to go for the Nature's Prophet now, and they're going to try to go for this global strategy, and I'm sure it'll piss off QPAD, but they have team fight if necessary. With the Visage as well, there's a lot of potential damage from the Visage Familiars with the Visage Soul Assumption, so they've got good early game potential there. But really, it just comes down to what is going to be helping out the Retry. What are they going to pick with the IO? What are they going to... Because you don't need an IO Nature's Prophet TP. That's kind of silly.
Yeah.
You just got to see, what are you going to pick with the IO now? That's really the focal point of the draft here for Retry.
Well, for QPAD, I was thinking there was 2 different kind of bans they could have gone for. Indeed, the IO combinations or the global strat combinations, like ban out the Tinker or something like that. And the Storm perhaps still as well, but... as they have run Storm on the safe lane, by the way, they wouldn't put it up against the OD. But QPAD actually bans out the Chen, a support that the Retry has been going for, and perhaps removing therefore a bit of push from the lineup. QPAD, on the other hand, they will have the chance to pick up a hero first, so perhaps they are looking up to getting that Pugna, because that would be, if you're going to ban out push, you have to remove that Pugna, I feel.
Yeah, they might do that. I think that's probably the smart choice for them, or the Enchantress. Either or would be fine. The Chen ban is smart because it's a good hero. You have the Hand of God, which would sort of fit into that kind of global lineup because you don't need to be there physically to cast Hand of God. It works everywhere, and it's nice to have for ganking with IO and whatever hero you're on with him. They go for the CK though, and CK IO is something that you see, you used to see a lot of, like even back at TI3, but like now it's just kind of like, I don't know. It's a hero that you could deal with effectively, especially with the IO and how it works now. I feel like Tiny is something that you see more often, and Fnatic does that most often out of any teams, the IO, Tiny kind of thing. So, but QPAD goes for the Abaddon, and the problem with this is that they don't have a real lockdown with these 2 supports here. And the Viper on the side of the Retry, this is gank heavy. It means that Viper can TP with the IO. And yes, you don't have lockdown, but you have slows, you have the Viper Strike. I do like this pick from the Retry. I think this is an excellent pick for them.
Yeah, I think so too. It also allows, indeed, for them to put something up against OD that won't actually, straight away lose the game. I agree with you that the CK ban, yeah, fair enough. It's an IO combination that you remove from the pool, but there are so many combinations left, and there's not one combination that stands out, to be honest. Like CK IO is strong, but as is Slark IO, as is Luna IO, as is Tiny IO, and the reason that I mentioned Luna and Slark is because both of those are still in the pool, and we have seen IO combinations lately, most of all with Lunas and Slarks, or Slarks I should say. And the pushing, of course, coming out from the Luna combined up with the Nature's Prophet and the Viper is still going to be very hefty, and I think maybe the Retry wants to go for something like that. Never mind. They go for the old-fashioned Ursa Warrior.
I was expecting this actually, because you know, Ursa IO is a combination you've seen so often, and with Earthshock early on, the amount of damage you can do from Fury Swipes and Overpower, it's pretty good. So. Actually,
the Retry, didn't they yesterday or the day before attempt a level 1 Roshan but couldn't get it done?
Yeah.
And maybe they're gonna try again, because this time they have a bit of a more standard lineup for it.
QPAD will check it.
They have to.
Really should. I mean, like, it's like you see Ursa, you see Nature's Prophet. Like, yeah, we'll probably check that real quick. If they don't, that's just a bit of a misplay, to say the very least. So we'll see what they want to pick up here for the last picks, though. They need a support on the Retry right now, and they need something maybe with Lockdown. If they go for like a Vengeful Spirit, I'd say they're definitely doing Roche at level 1, but I don't think that's going to be the case. Because then it's just too obvious for QPAD, and it's even obvious right now. If we're thinking about it, I mean, they'll probably be thinking about it too, so.
Yeah, we have got Ban of Enigma. I mean, that's a hero that Retry has gone for, which is a bit of a shame. The PGG had some really amazing black holes over the last couple of Enigma games he has played, so unfortunately that is not going to happen. QPAD also done a bit of their homework. The Retry, one more ban left for them. I mean, for QPAD right now, they are kind of lacking a real core carry. So maybe something like a Gyrocopter or Luna still removed from the pool. I would, like, right now, I'm not really too happy with QPAD's lineup. I mean, they got this trial lane combination, of course, with an Abaddon in the Visage and an OD mid and a Wind Ranger on the off lane. Could actually turn into an aggressive trial lane with the Wind Ranger there. And then just have something solo farming, which I would actually like more, because they're putting all their eggs in one basket, and if you're up against an Ursa and a Viper, that's already 2 very high cores. And OD, of course, can transition into a good core, but he does need a good start, and I'm not sure if he's gonna get that, and I'm not sure if he's gonna get big enough by the time Viper and Ursa are ready, because they overall have got a shorter period that they need to get online.
Yeah, and against a Viper, OD generally has, and not the best time in the world. It's what people would consider a quote-unquote counter to an OD, if you can really counter him. And it's kind of true, because Viper doesn't really rely on mana if you're not going for poison attack. That's a Drow Ranger.
That's not something that I was expecting. You?
Well, no, I don't think so. I don't think anyone was really expecting the Drow Ranger, unless you're like a big fag of QPAD and you just like, you've seen it before.
Well,
I don't think that's the case, though.
No, that's just, I haven't seen it in a very long time. I haven't seen it since Poseidon picked it, and that was actually when they were still Poseidon. Was, I believe, either at the start of this season or at the end of the previous one. At least that was the last time that I casted it. I'm sure she got picked up a bit more often than that. I have to say, I'm not entirely opposed to it, but Drow Ranger is, I mean, she's gonna slow Ursa and make sure that it takes a while before he gets to her. But if Ursa gets relocated on top of the Drow Ranger and she gets slowed by the tether, there's no way she's gonna live through it. She's considered a glass cannon, which is, you know, food for Ursa and Viper.
This is a lot. Yeah, this is, like you said, it's just kind of so they can counter the Ursa pick, but then you have to deal with the Viper, and Viper's just gonna chew through that Drow Ranger. They also go for, on the side of the Retry, something I haven't seen in quite some time. That's a Skywrath Mage. And yeah, that's interesting.
Well, I have to say, I'm kind of surprised. It's nice, of course, to have the Silence. One of the stronger heroes that QPAD has is the OD. And if they are roaming around early with the Skywrath Mage, this is no fear, by the way, playing it, so it is a support Skywrath. And I like that more than anything else, than the carry. So I'm hoping he's gonna go for that Silence, and that's gonna be his biggest focus. But we'll see how they do with that.
They are smoked up, and I'm wondering if they're going for Roche. I don't think so.
I think they only have like one salve on each. To try.
Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. Oh my god, the ping issue. Yeah, yeah.
No, they do see the trend. And what's Armin writing? He said nice pause.
Yeah, that's what he said. The Treant, I think, is going to check the rune spot, and maybe even go to the jungle. I don't think it's going to go to the Roche Pit, and if it does, it's not going to the Roche Pit right now.
Look at the inventories. I mean, yeah, we've got some selves up there, but they're not going to make it in time. If they want to try and take the Roche, they would have left.
No, they're not going to Roche. They're just, they're checking it. Dang it, I was like excited, but they don't have really the lineups to do it. Plus, I don't know, that was kind of silly.
You know what would be really, really smart right now is to now go for the Roche after QPAD already tested it. After QPAD already went there with the smoke and all.
Yeah, but it'd take too long, and then they would know. They'd be like, oh, they're not at their lanes. That's interesting. Yeah, it's way too long now. That's why people TP in to do it, just so they can get it done before the game actually starts. Otherwise, it's just too long.
Let's take a look at who is playing what. We do have an aggressive tri lane coming out from the Retry. They've got Nubik playing the Ursa, Eid will play the Io, and then as well on the support role is No Fear on that Skywrath mage, who is disconnected from the game, so it takes a 180-degree turn and get flying back. Okay, Yoki will play the Viper, will be on the middle lane, as we have seen him do for a while. Hart, Yoki, under the same name. And PGG will be the last one. Nature's Prophet, he'll be on the safe lane.
And on the side of QPAD, we have SLHZ. I think will be on the Wind Ranger up in the top lane. With him will be Durham. Yeah, Shulj. And then Durham will be on the Abaddon. In the mid lane, you'll see, of course, on the OD, Vic, I think that's his name as well. Philic, excuse me, on the Outworld Devouring. And then down bottom, Blue Banana will be on the Drow Ranger. And around the lot, we will, of course, have the Visage played by Arman.
Yeah, Wagamama still at his parents' place, so still is cause for at least one of the stand-ins that's here. The others, they just don't have a solid 5-man roster, so there's always going to be some stand-ins until they decide on who is going to play with them, even though Armen has been playing with them for a while now. I'm kind of curious in this aggressive trial lane, because it's an aggressive trial lane without any disables, which is not something that we see very early. And the harassment that can come off from a Drow Ranger who goes Frost Arrows first is actually quite big, so it's an interesting lane, to say the least. We actually do have Abaddon making his way bottom as well, knowing that he is going to be needed here. But I wouldn't say that QPAD is having a difficult lane here. Like I might actually think that this is good for them if they get this lane working for them.
This is questionable. I mean, they've spammed out Arcane Bolt like a ton already, and he already has Declarity, and it really didn't do that much damage to Blue Banana. So you can tell that with the right clicks from Drow, they might be doing okay at some point in this lane. So it's questionable. I don't really know who's going to get first blood. I don't know what's going to happen, but the bottom lane is really where the action should be. In the mid lane, Yoki's taking a bit of damage as well as feel like they're both kind of harassing each other. Corrosive Skin's already skilled up early on. He actually went for Poison Attack, which is interesting. Took a lot of right click there, and so it can go either way in the mid lane as well, considering what's been skilled up. In the top lane, it's a Wind Ranger versus a Nature's Prophet. That is just going to be pretty even for the most part, so I don't know. It's whoever gets caught up position.
Yoki here on this middle lane, he is in quite a bit of trouble. He can't tango yet. He has got one tango coming his way. This might actually be a kill. Couple hits needed. He only needed one more hit. I think he might have been able to get it, but I mean it is helping out. That corrosive skin did kind of help out, so perhaps it was too scary still. But Yoki, I mean, that was his regen already ticked off. He just brought himself a salve. Was I blind? He put his salve on and then it went away again? Like that wasn't
I didn't see. I'm not sure. Maybe you're right, but if that's the case, then he's in a lot of trouble because Phil just salved himself up. He's doing work in this lane. Yoki is not going to be able to see us until he can get some sort of regen, and because he's a Viper, he might not even go for bottle, which would be questionable, considering of how much he's getting wrecked here from Philic. Philic has got a tango himself, so it, you know, down bottom though, like maybe some action here.
Yeah, Blue Banana gets focused away. The Soul Assumption still hurts the Io a bit, but he's already back off. Nubik really wants to find a target, but he just can't find the right target, and now he might be in some trouble here. He is going to be the one that gets left behind. Gets slowed, double slow from the Visage as well as from the arrows. Nubik should be able to make it out alive, though. There is a soul assumption on the Visage, but he doesn't have the mana. And actually, Nubik coming in from the side again. They do see this happening, though. They have got their own ward. PGG actually teleporting in. Does he have a Sprout? No. Still level 3. They go for Blue Banana. A couple hits needed. One more hit. The shield is there. One more hit. Boom! He's dead. That's going to be first blood, but Nubik will take a fall here as well. Maybe Durham as well. One more hit coming up from No Fear. That's going to be 2 for 1 so far. Our men. He should be able to get that kill. He's going for the next one right now. The tower helping out. The Spirits of the Isle. He dodges them. That's going to be another kill going the way of QPAD. 3-4-2. Here on this bottom lane, and only one survivor, but that might not last for long. Oh, Nubik back in this as well. He still wants to go for this, or at least wants to make sure that his IO is kept safe. Gets forced out again, but No Fear is back here as well. So I'm thinking this should be leading into a bit of a standoff again. Are they gonna die of this? They shouldn't.
No.
No. Good.
There's no creep wave there to tank the tower. They just be running at them. But that was a little bit of an interesting trade coming out from both teams, just saying, okay, we're gonna kill you, we're gonna fight, we're gonna keep trading, and
we're gonna send the first blood did go for the Retry.
Yeah, exactly. And then die, and then kind of throw a little bit. They took the first blood, but still 3 for 2 trade. I'm not really sure who really comes out ahead. I think the rating team has a goal lead right now, albeit a little one. So I think the 3 kills did actually favor that of QPAD in the end, just because PGG did a little too far there. Durham obviously, or not Durham, excuse me, Nubik did a little too far on the retry side as well because he died. He's gonna go ahead and TP up top and just try to take this farm. It looks like they're just gonna blow this aggressive traveling up. Yeah, this might be a smart move.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, it wasn't in favor of QPAD. The biggest difference, or the biggest actually downside for QPAD was that it was the first blood that was the Drow Ranger, as Skywrath Mage is still going down in the middle lane. Was he that far out? Yes, he was.
He was like harassing him from the side. I don't know what he was doing. He just got
I'm not sure what PGG is doing here either. He gets slowed down. Blue Banana, he's going for this. And comes the Soul Assumption, Shackle. Yeah, that's going to be a kill. I mean, 4 heroes here. What do they think they can do here? They've got a ward. They see this. Nubik still getting slowed down. In comes the No Fear, trying to help out, but well, he at least can help Nubik. But they lost their Nature's Prophet. This is quickly going from not so good trade to wow, what are you doing? Throw kind of style. Although
this
they do get OD
silly.
in the mid lane. Wow.
This game is extraordinarily silly. Yeah. I just don't know what's happening half the time. You know, they're getting caught out of position, they're running at each other, which is fine. I mean, I'm all for running at each other, but this is just like running at each other, like hoping to die or something. I don't know, like suicidal. Armin picked up a buckler, doesn't have boots yet, which I got flamed for last night when I was playing with betas, so I'm just going to assume that's wrong. On a Visage, by the way, so I don't know. This is a lot of questionable play.
Speed from your Grave Chill? I wouldn't necessarily call it bad. Might be the one thing that they need. I mean, there's mostly
you need to get in
damage
position
coming
for
out
Grave
from
Chill,
Ursa.
though. You need to be in position to get your Grave Chill in the first place, so I can see why that's a bit of an issue. Also, a stick would be nice, especially when you have No Fear throwing out a lot of crap at you, so a stick boots would be fine.
Oh, PGG is coming in from behind. Sprouts up our men. They're gonna go for him first. It is gonna be No Fear that takes a bunch of damage, though. He has to get himself out. There might be a Soul Assumption. There is mana for it. Boom, you're dead. That's gonna be 1 down, 3 to go. Perhaps they can get some. Perhaps the retry can get some in return. Durham will indeed take a fall. Nope, denied. And it's gonna be Blue Banana that runs himself out of there alive as well. The TP is not gonna come from our men, but perhaps they're assuming that he is already gone. They are assuming he's already gone. Oh my god, they're thinking he's gone. Oh my, yeah, okay.
Well, I guess it shows how much I know about the game, because apparently he just got his boots right then, and he didn't need them before, so whatever. I guess he's fine.
He is fine indeed, and also he's more than fine because they just took a kill up against the retry. Well, the retry was the one to initiate. Hopefully for the retry they can still get at least something out of this in form of a tower, but other than that, I mean, their rotations haven't really paid off. And that's actually making them suffer. Most importantly, making PGG suffer, because he's been dying a lot lately. As in, he's died twice already from the rotations that he's done. And he's not going to be getting his Hand of Midas at the timing that he wants to get it.
No, absolutely not. But that tower will go a long way to help him out. He's actually close to the recipe right now. And although he's died twice, it's not that bad of a time. I mean, we used to see Nature's Prophets get, Midas said 10 minutes, and obviously later than that even, so... a bit of a really weird start to the game. I mean, I'm not going to say that it wasn't fun. It's been a lot of fun, but it's like, okay, there's a 2-1 tower dead at like 740 and an aggressive tri-lane. I don't know what's happening. People are dying. People are farming mid, top lane. Wind Ranger's starting to get a lot of farms going for 4 staff. Eid is up here trying to get level 6, and actually very close. And They're like diving a tier 2 tower bottom in 8 minutes. What is happening?
You know, I'm totally not opposed to this kind of style of Dota either. I think for it, the downside is that, you know, you can think you're trading okay, and even if you're not getting the best of trade, you can at least still, you know, justify to yourself thinking, you know, we traded anyway and we killed this hero and that was nice. But the downside is that at some point it's gonna come to that point where it's gonna be too late. Like, one team is gonna get ahead and then there will be no coming back for the other team. Nice Strong Imprisonment helping out Nubik there. The Strong Imprisonment did came out from the OD, so that's kind of helping each other. Ooh, that's gonna be Wind Rager, and that's Sanity Eclipse drop. Joki will be dead. That's gonna be the second dead right there. Ursa's gonna die to a tower because diving tier 2s at minute 8.5 is just not something that you want to be doing. And of course, Io wasn't in that fight, and No Fear was able to get himself out. But I mean, yeah, you can't do that. You can't run at people like that.
What the hell's happening? What is this game? I don't even know what's going on right now. This is not Dota. This is
it's people
throwing
helping
stuff.
each other left and right. I mean, that OD just saved Nubik's life, and then Nubik still runs in to die. It's like, yeah, you got yourself a second chance, but, you know.
It's like Dota for QPAD. The retry, this is just like, run at people. We'll be able to kill them, and the QPAD's like actually TPing in towers. Like, this isn't a pub game. People do TP in and fight and have Sanity's Eclipse. Like, they didn't even use their Viper Strike in that entire fight. Yoki, like, didn't, like, he refused to throw it out or something. They're just running and right-clicking at people. This is like an experimental phase from the retry. And it's crazy, I love it, but, like, you just lost, like, 3 heroes for nothing. Literally nothing. They're gonna go for Roche, and this is without, Vlad's, by the way.
This is a level 4 Ursa still, because that's the downside that you have, of course, if you do have an aggressive trial and it's not working out. Well, the levels are going to be an issue. We might actually see someone die here. There's no salve either up on Eid. So
they can't do this.
They can't. Unless someone has a salve for Eid.
Maybe they can't. Maybe I'm wrong. They have to commit 4 heroes to it, but they're all getting very low.
QPAD apparently has no idea this is going on.
Well, they don't have any vision. They really should know. I mean, well, let's be honest here, dude. Did we expect that? No.
No.
We have complete vision of over the map. Like, we didn't expect that to happen. He doesn't have Vlad's yet. It's 10 minutes in.
He's level 4. He was level 4. I guess this is good for the levels.
Well, it's huge for the levels. It's a huge pickup for him, and it's nice that they have the Aegis, but they can still easily come back into this one. I mean, the gold lead's only 500, and experience is only a couple thousand, but you know, it's. They have a team fighting lineup. They have an aggressive lineup, and I guess they wanted to be aggressive on that tier 2 tower. And
what the hell, PGG? Teleported into a tier 1 tower and now blocked him with the creeps. Luckily for him, he has space, which in comes a relocate. Want to try and make something happen, but QPAD was already prepared. The shackle,
there's the
Aegis gone. Eve will be picked up as well. There's just spawn Ursa. He's gonna respawn, and I don't think it's gonna be, yeah. Never mind that, he's dead. That's double kill for the Visage, because he's the one that apparently gets all the kills. But, I mean, that's too aggressive. You can't do that. It's just... No.
Can someone tell me what I'm watching? Well, I mean, like we were talking about, they're being way too aggressive, like you said. I mean, like, it's... Yeah, thanks, Naz. I appreciate it. But, like, seriously, they TP'd in. The Nature's Prophet was like, I'll just TP into the tier 1 tower. And then, of course, you saw the relocate in, which was a little bit later. And everyone died. Arcane Orb is a bit of damage from what I hear, even though he's only got like treads, whatever. That's an Aegis gone, that's a kill going the way of QPAD. Suddenly they're looking even better than they were before. They're losing a tier 1 tower, I don't think they really mind that much. Like, yeah, okay, that's fine. We'll just keep farming. PGG's farming down bottom, he doesn't have a Midas yet. He's got a Basilius and Phase Boots. He's actually dying to Visage Familiars.
Yeah, this game is kinda silly. I mean, there's still hope for the retry, don't get me wrong. They can still pull this back. They've got an IO and a Wisp. They don't need to fight with that. They can just use it as a threat and, you know, come in if need be and otherwise just farm and get themselves ahead and then pick off once they're actually ready for it. But they have to stop feeding. That's because they have to stop running at people and, like, PGG's dead.
Yeah, speaking of feeding, listen.
I normally don't call it that in professional games, it just doesn't happen, but this just seems unlikely. Perhaps they can get themselves a kill on the OD though, and actually, yeah, they do. That's a good kill for them. That's the kind of stuff that we have to see, indeed.
Yeah. Just, like, play sound Dota. Don't, like, dive tier 1 towers when you don't need to. It's not like you have a team that's extraordinarily tanky. Like, rein it in a little bit. You could still win easily. I mean, you haven't fed too far. This game's not out of control yet. You haven't, I mean, like, your Ursa's doing okay, at least. You had an Aegis, you had a Roche, obviously not anymore, but if you take another tier 1 tower, that's even better. There's a TP on mid, and they're going to try. This is another kill that they're going to get with a double damage. Nice 4-step, though. Very nice 4-step. Wow, they just got outplayed.
The 4-staff is up, of course, fairly at a fairly decent timing for the Wind Ranger. They will take a tower at the end. I mean, now the tier 1 towers on the side of QPAD are gone, and the retry, with all the kills that they've been giving away, they really needed that extra bit of gold. So right now they're doing okay also on the net worth. We see the top 3 being, indeed, from the retry.
Dire's structures are fortified.
But, well, they just have to be careful, and they have to just play normal Dota. I've been praising them, saying, you know what, they've been looking really solid lately, and then they have like plays like just now. It's just weird.
I guess it's their style of Dota, and they're allowed to. I mean, the game's not. They know it's not out of control yet. Maybe they're saying, okay, hold on, let's not get too hasty here. Let's just play our style of Dota, which is aggressive, but not diving towers aggressive. Like we're facing up against an OD who's got Arcane Orbs now. We're facing up against Shackle Shots. Abaddons who kind of punish dives to a certain extent, and Visage who's got his familiars, and so they're only losing one tier 1 tower, which was denied, so that's actually pretty significant. Nubik does have his lads now, which means any sort of Roche will not be as bad. There's a Midas up, so they need to kind of wait another 10 minutes for this to start being really good for PUBG. And like you mentioned, they have the top 3 net worths, and the Viper's part of that. He's going for a Yasha, so maybe even a Mad style for the Viper, or just a casual Yasha and whatever else he wants to build, I'm not sure. So it's the kind of game where QPAD are still yeah, we got a couple of kills, but we're really not doing that well. The OD needs farm, he's going to get a 4-step next. The Drow Ranger same has got really nothing, so.
Now, one thing that I actually want to see on the retry still, and I was kind of thinking that perhaps Yoki was going to go for that, but the mechanism. Is it going to be an item that the IO is going to go for? I mean, he's sitting on 1500 gold, he could go for that. And
he'll probably buy that.
Yeah, because that's, I mean, if you're gonna fight like that, and at some point, I'm sure they will. I mean, if the fight starts and they're all close by, they're gonna all run at it. I know it will happen, but a mechanism can just allow you to do that and still stay alive during it. So, kind of hoping that will be up fast. We do have a smoke up coming out from QPAD though. They're gonna try to take a tier 1 tower middle. I do think that the retry is gonna look to defend this if they come in time. The IO and the Ursa can relocate themselves in. We do have a No Fear setting already by. In comes 1 TP. This is the Viper. They might not have been able to save their tower, but perhaps they can still take the fight. Nice familiar stunts coming out though. That's gonna be stopping Nubik in his tracks. For stuff into safety from the OD, they are able to take down a Nature's Prophet, and in comes the Sanity's Eclipse. IO is back out of here, but he didn't take Nubik with him. But it's 2 kills now going the way of QPAD, and they might be able to get their 3rd one as well. They're not getting No Fear. IO with the Haste Rune still on the way out. Looks to be able to make it out, but this is QPAD winning a fight, which I say it's a fight. It was a fight instead of QPAD, even though the retry wanted to fight. They never really had the chance to, by looks of it.
They wanted to TP in and when a tier 1 tower was still alive. They shouldn't have committed once that tower had gone. And it was really a smart play from Durham. VIII got silenced up with, of course, the sounds from the Skywrath. But they just defied it off, and he just was able to fight. And they wanted to take him down first, more than likely, because Sandy's Eclipse is a pretty good ultimate from what I hear.
Yeah.
Well, just killed like 2 people with it. So, it's a good fight for QPAD. Not the best engagement for the retry, but then again, it wasn't like anything throwy. That was pretty standard. TPN, use your relocate, try to fight, but there's no tier 1 tower, sadly, so it really just didn't go their way. And with that, they take a tier 2 tower, they do a bit of damage, they take a tier 3 tower as well, so that's pretty significant for QPAD. That really helps them out a lot, actually.
Yeah, that tower gold is going to bring them a long way, and that actually is also enough to bring 4 of their heroes up to the top the top 5 of the net worth. And 4, that means that, I mean, Abaddon is very poor, fair enough, but that Visage, Arman's Visage, is pretty damn rich. He's actually been involved in 13 out of the 14 kills, 706. Well, hello, Carrie Visage. Welcome.
Yeah. Soul Sumption for you. Grave Chill, Soul Sumption, and Visage Familiar, so it gets you involved in fights, and it's a hero that's still very strong, and really doesn't take that much skill to play other than the micro range of Visage Bridge, which I know something about. Either way, though, it's still a good lead for them right now. And you look at the gold graph, and it's spiked up completely. And they were only leading for the retry because they had those towers. It was 2,000 going their way. Once a couple towers go down, QPAD significantly just increases their own lead, backed up to 3,000. So suddenly it looks not so dire for the Radiant team. No pun intended.
Yeah,
and Drow Ranger going for BKB, so.
Yeah, this is going to be something that the retry will have to play around. I mean, they should be playing with the knowledge that they're behind right now. It's something that they're not really the strongest in. They normally like to play with the idea that they are ahead. And if they are ahead, they normally stay ahead. But right now, that one fight just took them back. And they have to play very safe. We do see 4 of them hanging around on the top lane, looking to push down the tier 2 tower. Looks like No Fear is gonna get 2 runes, because 1 is not enough. Invis rune as well as the haste rune, and he'll be finding himself between QPAD heroes. And he will be able to maybe almost picks up Blue Banana, but Blue Banana was teleporting into his base, so that was so close though. And it will take a while before Blue Banana is now able to help his top lane, which is probably what he was aiming for. Oh, Nubik just teleporting himself in as well. Just gets the Astral Imprisonment going. The Shackle for Viper still to the tree. That's gonna be 1 dead. Looks to be 2 dead. Need a couple more hits. Oh, Tethers! It's not gonna be enough. At least not to kill him off, that is. The one orb hit coming out from VIII is not over just yet though. But it looks like it is. Nubik, don't farm. Run. Good job.
He hit that once and he's just like, no, that's not a good idea. We need to be running now.
They're still running, yeah. Well, they only lose the Viper. I think it could have been worse for the retry. A bit of damage control going on from their side. And they actually almost have the mag ready up on Eid now. And they're just about 400 gold. 350.
Yeah, that'll be a nice pickup for them. And then they can start playing a little bit more aggressively, which they did earlier to a bit of a fault, like we talked about. And they're still trying to rein it in a little bit here. They lost the Viper there. They've only got 5 kills to their name. With a team like this, that's actually kind of surprising when you think about it. I don't know what PGG was doing. He was in the base here. He's like actually at the tier 3 tower. He
teleporting under tier 3 tower.
Yeah, this guy, PGG, man. Jeez. What a guy.
You know he was a chess champion at some point?
Yeah, I heard about that. That's kind of crazy to think about.
And then he drank a lot of vodka. Boom.
No, I mean, it's... You know, it's Eastern Europe, so that's kind of a thing that happens from what I hear.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
According to his own words, he plays better Dota when he is intoxicated. I don't think he used actually that word, but anyway.
I don't know about that. That's probably not accurate. I don't think anybody plays better Dota when they're drunk. Then again, there's like that certain point where you're sort of like tipsy, but you're like good enough to play at like a really high level. I don't know. Maybe that's what he's talking about.
You get more, you take more risks.
Right. You're willing to be a little bit more aggressive, but you still have a little bit of like control over yourself.
Yes.
Like you have to find that nice balance of intoxication, sobriety.
Looks like QPAD is gonna take another tier 3 tower. In comes the relocate though. They want to try and fight this. VIII already silenced up, but the Shackle coming in. Nubik and Yoki stuck together. The IO orbs will do quite a bit of damage to Durham, but he still has a borrow time, so he's gonna be safe. He's gonna be fine. Looks like just tier 2 and that's it. Nobody dying just yet. Oh, Arman, he wants to use the soul assumptions. Goes for a PGG, forces him back to base. That's something. Nubik slowed down, gets a tether to help him out there. Blue Banana still chasing down No Fear, but gets forced out as well. Viper is the first one to die. That's Wind Ranger taking that one down. Soul Assumption will take down the IO as well. It's 2 down. VIII will die too though. That was pretty damn close, but dying he does. Another Soul Assumption coming out. The Visage, he might just be paying for his insolence right now. One more hit indeed. It is gonna be a kill. IO buying back. This should be the retry, taking it back, but they will still lose their melee towers. They will be able to pick up the Drow Ranger. 3 dead, 4 dead right now, but that's a deny right there. And Wind Ranger is the only one to live to tell the tale, and perhaps he's even able to take a kill with him. We're looking for the IO. The Wind Run is there. One more hit needed. Oh, he teleports himself out. They are not going to be able to stop that from happening. That doesn't stun anymore.
Tether. Yeah.
Nice attempt, but I mean, that was a good defense from the retry, but they still lost their Rex. They were forced to buy back too, and they only got 3 kills.
Not an interesting sort of engagement, like you mentioned. The melee Rex was down, but you saw the Soul Assumption go to town for Visage, and he did die, so he gave up like 1,200 gold to the Viper, which is kind of a lot of money.
Actually, yeah. That's a pretty big deal.
So he's sitting on 2,200, and let's see if he goes for like a Mantis style. I'm not sure. The retry want to go for Roche, and they'll probably be able to take it. There's still no vision here on the Roche pit at all. There hasn't been this entire game for QPAD, but I guess that doesn't matter when you're just hitting W for Armin. That's really all he's doing. Blue Banana had a BKB. That's not really giving him any damage, though. He'll have a Blade of Alacrity, which is probably going to be Yasha in his bank right now. And speaking of items, OD has a starting to set device. He's got his ultimate orb. He's looking to get that. Staff of Wizardry? No, that's not it. Mystic Staff.
Mystic Staff. I'm kind of surprised that there's... Because as you mentioned, like, there's no wards. Oh, thank you.
Got it.
But I mean, as you mentioned, no wards on the side of QPAD. Has there been wards since since the first set of wards were bought?
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, there's wards on the Abaddon. They haven't put them down, really. If they have, they've been in weird places that I haven't seen, or they've been counter-warded, which is probably not the case. I just don't... They've been too busy, like, fighting and pushing, and I guess that's okay. I would like to see them have a ward at the Roche, because that means they probably take that fight and take the Aegis. They don't have to deal with it, so whatever.
Well, no fear gets forced back here. Here comes the relocate. They want to go for Blue Banana. The BKB is on, though, and it looks like he might be able to get himself away. And might be able to get Io here as well before he can relocate back out. Indeed, that's the first casualty right there. Nubik now, his BKB right out. He's getting chased down, slowed down, killed off. That's going to be 2 down. PGG teleported in, but he can't get anything either. That's going to be another death on the side of the retry. Yoki will be the last one to die. In the meantime, the Ursa is back up because, of course, he had that Aegis, but he is the only one to live. And actually, PGG just bought back as well, so he's back as well. But they only got a visit and the Shackle up on 2. Well, that is gonna be it then, isn't it? That's gonna be everybody dead again. Oh, look! Another one with a buyback. No fear, by himself. What can he do for his team? I don't think he can do an awful lot, to be honest.
Yep, you're right. One thing about the Visage that has been so spot on has been that anytime you've seen a relocate, except for that last fight, he's throwing down the birds right before or right as they're getting there, so it stuns literally right as they TP in. So Arman has had fantastic play in that regard. You know, I say he keeps getting a W, but it's really he's doing a lot more. I'm just being facetious. And they'll take a kill on the tower. Tier 4 is going to fall. Boost travel up for Arman right now, and that's just a fight that's going their way. I mean, you saw how much they just kind of baited out the BKB, and they just kind of ran around, hopefully, like they were just trying to survive. And once that was gone, Arcade and Orbs just kind of took down the Ursa rather quickly. So, realistically, in any other game, I feel like they would have called GG there, but they're going to try to go for a Tier 2, and then in that case, Tier 3 in the last set of racks. So, QPAD, all they have to do is play sound Dota in order to take this one.
Yeah.
And really, the Retry could have taken this game had they not played so aggressively early on, I think, and kind of just, not necessarily thrown, but it was just too aggressive coming out from them.
Some moves were kind of throwy. But yeah, I agree. And those moves were the ones that they could have afforded if they didn't let things get out of hand a bit earlier before that. So yeah, I agree. The retry, it's on them. I wouldn't necessarily say outpicked or anything like that. It is outplayed, and be that the retry not playing the way they should, or QPAD playing exactly the way they should. Both is a bit true, as you said. Those familiars of our men have been quite on point. As we do have the last outer tower dead on the side of the retry, they should be coming back here soon. They should be defending their last tier 3 tower. They have to. There's no other way. PGG is going to come in from behind. They're going to relocate in. No familiar stuns this time. They go up on Blue Banana again. The mechanism this time is not going to be enough. Eid will still take a fall to the familiars, but that's okay. Blue Banana already dead. Nubig looking for the next target. Finds himself our men, but is not going to be able to do enough damage, and that is going to be 2 for 1 Blue Banana for the Ursa and the Nature's Prophet, and Yoki actually is going to get dropped as well. Triple kill for VIII. There's just 2 heroes left alive. Eid actually did not die to those familiars earlier on, but there's just 2 supports alive, and that's all. They can't defend their tier 3 tower. The buybacks are on cooldown, and actually Visage still is the one to go down. Well, there's an ultra kill still for VIII. Of course he can.
The Visage just dove the well, trying to get the kill on the IO.
Oh, okay. I was wondering why he died.
Yeah, well, that was actually a close fight. That could have gone the way of the retry had they just gotten a couple of things, you know, had they just gotten a little bit more damage. If the Knight was there was too much damage to deal with, since Eclipse, all that stuff coming out from the OD. His Scythe was up, obviously, so it was just, it was an uphill battle for the retry, and unfortunately, because they dug themselves a little bit of a grave, QPAD was able to take their first physical victory here in StarLadder.
Yeah, that is true. This was their actual first victory. Well, congratulations to QPAD. Very well deserved, at least A for effort. Boom. Oh god, that's flame. I've started streaming now 12 hours ago, so that's my excuse right there, and you know. But no, they played
the flame.
Yeah, they played solid compared to what the retry was putting at them. I mean, of course, if you have a team that continuously runs at you, there's probably a large part of you that wants to just do the same. And that could end very badly for QPAD, but they kept composed, and they were able to still, you know, keep their cool and just won the game that way.
Yeah. It's just a strong game coming out for them.
Yeah.
Just, they played efficiently, they got what they needed to get, and when the Retry decided to dive towers, QPAD was just like, yeah, we're gonna kill you.
Yep.
Yeah.
We're ready for you. Wind range actually never died this entire game. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, pretty impressive play.
For stand-in especially. How happy are you as a stand-in if you're like not dying and you won? It makes you feel good.
Yeah, I mean, especially on this kind of stage, it's always a nice accomplishment. So hopefully we see more of that from QPAD and the stand-ins that they've got. So.
Yeah. Of course, this was our last game today, so we'll have more games tomorrow. We'll just take a quick look at what tomorrow brings. Mouse Sports versus Fnatic, Power Rangers versus OSG, QPAD versus Flipside, Fnatic versus SSD. Those will be our 4 games. So, actually, the first and last one are probably very interesting. SSD and Fnatic, both are doing really well in Star Series. Fnatic only played 5 games though, so they're kind of important still. And Mouse versus Fnatic also. Going to be one of those games that is going to be probably a must-win for Fnatic, because they still have to face teams like Na'Vi, etc. Although they have already faced Alliance. That's something. Anyways, any shout-outs or plugins for you before we tune off?
I'd like to give a shout-out to you for having me. Thank you again, obviously. And, of course, I got a lot of casting coming up here, so I'll be doing the NEL All-Star game tonight at 8 o'clock with, of course, Monolith, the manager of Dignitas. Yeah, 8 o'clock Eastern, excuse me. Let's see how many, that's 4 hours from now, for anyone that's wondering. Well, about 4 hours and 15 minutes or so. So that'll be on twitch.tv/NeoDota. You can follow me there. Also, if you, I should be casting, assuming the game is still going on, I should be casting on BTS the LGD Int versus VIII Gaming game for, of course, the WPCA's tournament that's going on. That'll be nice. That'll be at 3 in the morning Eastern time, so that's a bit longer. I'm not doing the math in my head. If you enjoyed my casting, follow me at twitter.com/ModDota2 and twitch.tv/ModDota2, where I do some nice, just fun pub games as well as other games that I play. And that's it.
Okay, and of course, thank you for me as well for co-casting with me. Even though apparently today is just I shouldn't stream for so long in a row, because it's just messing up my entire flow. Oh my god, that rhymed. Well, thank you. Also, of course, thank you to Nahaz. Make sure to follow him on Twitter at NahazDota. He's, of course, the one that keeps putting out those awesome stats, so don't forget him. And, of course, follow me at Shiver Gaming on Twitter as well, as actually the same name for all the other sites that you can think of, apart from VK. I don't have a VK site. Neither do I have a QQ thing. Oh, what's the... Oh, Weibo. I also don't have a Weibo. Okay, I have a lot that I don't have. But Facebook, YouTube, it's all under the same name, Shiver Gaming. So, yeah, make sure you do that. And as promised, I will do a sub game after this game. It will be only 1 game, though, because afterwards I really need to get some rest, apparently. That's going to be good. And I'll be back tomorrow. StarLadder, as well as probably streaming out some pubs. But actually, I might not be, because I might just be watching the WPC Ace League, if that is indeed going on. And otherwise, I will be watching the D2L League if that's going on, which actually might not be the case anymore, but we'll find out. Anyways, thank you, and have a good night, everybody.